Thanks, Samir. Very happy to be here at the AI-ism Summit and discuss about emerging technologies, the impact, and our role in it. 3D printed homes, ready now, and a promise of 100 million homes by 2023, and ones that are thermally insulated and disaster resilient. Major food, beverage, consumer packaged foods, they say they are going to use AI-driven supply chain technology. And of course, it will prevent food disruption and help us avoid food crisis. A lot more food on the table for us. AI will power decision-making in fertility and help people get happier families with the use of precision medicine. Well, that is, again, a lot of heartburn not out there. Avoid it. And people can have happier families, like I said, in a much faster and more customized use of precision medicine. Remote working pandemic has brought us all closer in an online manner, and the future skills and talent will be the reason and perhaps the criteria for getting an employment, and we will move away from the location-based issues. A lot more access to opportunities out there for all of us. Emerging technologies are being seen in edtech, nanotech, biotech, and there's not a single sphere that perhaps is not going to get in a discussion and a dialogue as to how to use emerging technologies. Talk about IoT, we're looking at is, the numbers going to 1 trillion. Well, that's a lot of connected world. And if there is connected world, there is data being generated and consumed, and there are these insights being born. And therefore, there is a lot more custom focused solutions, apps, interfaces being designed. And from a one size fit all, we are fast accelerating to a world of one size fit one person. And I say not all, emerging technologies are going to win. We're going to have perhaps few that will win the race and few that will continue to scale up. Mobile internet, the world of mobile computing devices, everything in this handheld powerhouse will perhaps be the gateway to any use and access in the future. Artificial intelligence will open opportunities for speech and gesture recognition, and more things will unfold, which will promise a better world. Virtual and augmented reality is perhaps supposed to create an ecosystem of its own, new enterprises being born, new consumers being born, an entirely new ecosystem that we will all need to get used to. While 3D printing and other technologies will continue to scale in size and scope. There is a connected future, and this future holds promise, and it holds a promise of keeping human experience at the center of it. Perhaps for a few decades, technology did alienate the human aspect, but now it is integrating all of it, and therefore human experience is the center of the design. At the recent World Economic Forum, there was a call. There was a call to say that let's make sure that whilst we have technology advancements and there is an entire capitalism in view, let us make sure technology is used for the human good. Let us make sure we all put our efforts in building an inclusive and sustainable future. So what does this mean for us? We know that emerging technologies are not going to be in one broad brushstroke across industries. We will see a differential use in industry. While we are seeing AI a lot more in financial services, in health tech, we are seeing cybersecurity encryption kind of being there in the public sector. So the call for all of us is look at the technologies that are emerging, and enterprises need to make sure that they are at the center in figuring out a world that has human capital that is trained in it. Rather than look as workforce reductions, which 55% companies are looking at supply chain integration, they're looking at the entire value chain being disrupted. There is a good 43% that are saying we are going to have workforce reduction. But rather than that, there are these jobs of future that are going to emerge. And I think it's an enterprise's responsibility to be able to create a workforce plan that has transition of the workforce moving from technology 1 to technology 2. And it is equally the responsibility for all the employees looking to get future employed to stay abreast of these technologies, figure out what's there, figure out the sectors in which they are getting pervasive, and make sure you get skilled in it, and importantly, stay employable forever. What is equally important is to make sure that there is digital inclusion. If we are looking at technology powering the society, we cannot leave half of the world aside. More than half of the world is connected, but we can also look at glass half full to say less than or probably equal to more than half the world is not connected. If you look at near half of the Central Asia, it's not connected. Meaningful digital connectivity is now being spoken of as a basic human right. Because only when you are digitally included, only when you have access to affordable internet, can you actually be impacted on the positive side of the technology. Otherwise, one ends up being a data point, which is not so good, and you're adversely impacted. The solution is that the sky is painted, the innovation disruption is here to happen, but we need to sketch our own future very deliberately and consciously, and focus on creating sustainable businesses with employable talent of future and take everyone along than say, this is not my problem. If we look at today, downloading a 5 GB HD movie in India, it takes 50 minutes, 44 seconds, which is a good 48 minutes and few more seconds more than the fastest download that is happening in another nation. I say this needs to change. So in summary, what I want to say is there are three things I would like to say. Enterprises must plan for technology disruption and prepare. Prepare for creating a workforce of future rather than be passive, adopters or passive beneficiaries of the talent supply that's already there as of today. The employees must be prepared to learn new technologies and plan for career pivots. You may be working in technology one, but tomorrow you need to have a plan. If this is obsolete and if there is a new technology that's coming, career pivots is going to be the thing of the future. Nations and governments need to come together and work on digital inclusion. Progress should be about bridging divides and not creating more digital divides. In summary, I would say technology must be utilized for progress of humanity, and it must have a place where everyone belongs. And that should be the endeavor we must all work towards. Thank you.